Hail Satan! I'll try and be less camp, hang on. Hail Satan. Hail Satan! Hail Satan. Hail Satan. Happy 2021. Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm here to... Shit, that candle's gone out. Gonna try again. Oh, and I bent it as well. Do I leave the candle?
Maybe just leave it.
We're gonna leave the candle. Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm here to make some bleeding chocolate fondants in honour of the Chilled Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix now, with of course our favourite Ambrose. So I've taken this from my bedside table, and he's just gonna overlook me. Overlook me? Watch over? He's just gonna be here full time. There you go. So, we're going to start with making the red chocolate filling for our chocolate fondants, and this is what will kind of ooze out in the middle when we cut into it. So we're going to start with a microwavable bowl, and we're going to pop 100 grams of white chocolate in, and 100 grams of cream. It's cream. And then we just pop that in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between. We're just going to do some awkward waiting now. How's the day been?
Trick question.
You tired?
I think death would be much better than this living hell.
Yeah, me too. Just keep checking on it. You don't want it to burn. White chocolate's really temperamental. Just keep stirring it together. It's like a super simple ganache. God, Ambrose, look at him now. He's got a slightly sweaty chest in this one, which is what I like the most. But I mean, there's an Ambrose for every day, isn't there, really? Those fucking seagulls are driving my head in. The seagulls are equally as aroused as I am, apparently. I'm not aroused. I'm just baking. It starts to go a wee bit yellow looking. Probably need some more pineapple, hey? That was very niche, that one. Not sure if you'll get it, but if you did, welcome. So it should be nearly together. You want to take it out of the microwave while it's still a wee bit lumpy, because the residual heat will sort it right out. I don't think I'm ever going to pronounce the word microwave properly ever again. Queen Nigella has spoken. So once it's all kind of come together, you want to add in your red food colouring. I've gone for some cocoa butter based food colouring. It stops it splitting, but normal colouring works as well. And you want to pour as much as you want in there. You want to get it really red. Ooh. Don't like that sound. And there we have it. That is our chocolate ganache there. So we're going to cover that in cling film and pop it into the fridge or the freezer. You want it to firm up so it's a bit like a thick peanut butter consistency. Cover that over, pop it in the fridge. Job is a good one. This is like my little personal mission to get this to work. Come on. It's the longest it's lasted so far. The next stage is we're going to make a raspberry coulis, which we're going to use to make a wee pentagram, because why not? Praise Satan, all that stuff. So, into a pan, we're going to pop 200 grams of raspberries. They can be frozen if you want, it'll just take a wee bit longer. And then about a tablespoon of icing sugar. Sure, that's fine. And a wee squeeze of vanilla extract. A coulis is basically just like a runny jam, so we put all those ingredients into a pan, pop that on the hob for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's kind of released the juices and it's all a bit kind of slushy, and then we'll strain it and it's done. It's super easy. So in a restaurant when they say they've got a coulis, they're not fancy, that's what I'm saying. We just have to keep an eye on it for 5-10 minutes. Don't start doing other things because you'll forget, and then it'll start spitting everywhere and you'll get raspberries everywhere. So we just have to wait for 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully you won't have to wait 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll skip through this bit. I don't know whether you meant to, but I give it like a proper smoosh. Just to just speed up the process a bit, really. I don't like waiting, so smoosh it. Oh, it's bubbling, hang on. There we are. So smoosh it, you want the juices to release, and then you want the juices to start evaporating away just so it's not too runny. We want thick. So while we wait, I'll give you a bit of backstory on my relationship with Ambrose. We met in 2018. I initiated the conversation. He wasn't really very responsive to start with, but I like to think he's just playing hard to get. You know what I mean? Like that long distance stuff is challenging, but I mean you can see in his eyes. You know what I mean? You can see the love in his eyes. God, I've been alone for a long time. He's hot though, isn't he? Christ. Whoa. We love pansexuals. Talking of pansexuals, my pan is bubbling. In Britain, ambrosia is a custard. And I love that too, obviously. I think if I was to have to give... I'm going to say I'm baking this for Ambrose, really, because it's gooey inside, like he makes me. But I imagine like we do that thing with our spoons, so we kind of like link like that, you know what I mean? That'd be lovely. Not that I've thought about it much, but we would definitely be sat over a candlelit dinner with candles like this one next in my shrine to Ambrose, linking arms, feeding each other, gazing into each other's eyes, and then things would progress probably quite quickly, but I don't think you need to know what happens afterwards. Oh gosh, that's nearly done, I think. So your coulis will be a wee bit thickened, it'll be all seedy, and no one wants seed caught in their teeth, so we're gonna sieve it. I mean, you might want seeds in your teeth, in which case you do you, but like, this is family content. And we are left with a coulis that looks like that. We pop that into the fridge as well, that'll cool down, and we'll get back to that later. That'll keep in the fridge for another, maybe like a week? I don't know. So next we are going to start on the cake batter. So to start with, we are going to melt together 110 grams of dark chocolate and 110 grams of butter. Oof. And then, as Nigella would, we're going to melt it in the microwave. Again, we're going for like 30-second intervals just to check it doesn't burn. We want them to melt together. You can just gaze at the microwave if you want. I know you want to. We can just look at it together if you like. It's a sexy microwave. I'm quite pleased with myself actually. Keep stirring together. Oh, it looks really gross. Looks like you ate like one too many Christmas puddings or something. Or like your turkey was underdone. Look at that. Oh, seagulls don't like it either. Don't know if you heard that from them outside. Like with the white chocolate earlier, you want to get it out while it's still a wee bit lumpy. So you can stir it together and go smooth. You don't want to burn the chocolate, it'll go grainy. It'll be gross and you'll be sad. New Year's resolutions, have we got it? Just gazing at Ambrose for inspiration. Perhaps my New Year's resolution is to be less thirsty. But we're going to be locked in our houses for more months, so it's not going to happen, is it? God, it's been a long 9 months, 10 months, 11? I don't know. It's been a long year. I hope it's not going to be another long year. When's COVID over? Do we know when COVID's going to be over? No. That's not what you're here for. You're here to make pudding. Right, so that is all melted together. So we're going to pop that to one side, let that cool just a wee bit. And while that cools, we're going to put everything else into a big bowl. So we need to pop 2 eggs in. Just sport, got it in the sink. 2-0, Michael. And then we want to get 2. Oh, there's eggshell in there. I was too proud of myself. And then we need 2 egg yolks. And then we're going to add in 55 grams of sugar. If it comes out of it. This is what pre-preparedness does. Oh, there we are. Same difference. Eggs and sugar in your bowl. And you're going to whisk that together until it goes properly thick and foamy. Not turned it on. Oh. It's fine. Everything is under control. tip, when you think it's done, it's not, give it a couple more minutes. So, when it's done, you should be able to leave like a figure of 8 made of the batter on top of the batter there. Lovely. Cool, we're going to pop that to the side as well, just briefly, while we grease our moulds. Now, there's no way of doing this with dignity. You basically just need to get 2 fingers, and sadly it does need to be 2 fingers. Grease them up, and stick them in the hole. There's no other way around it, sorry Mum. Make sure it's properly greasy in there. It makes a horrible noise, which some of you are probably familiar with. Please only use 2 fingers, no full fists. It's not necessary. Properly greasy. You don't want it to get stuck. Any more innuendos you can think of? 2021, eh? Who'd have thought I'd still be here doing stuff like this? And then we need some cocoa powder. So grab some cocoa powder, pop that on top of your lubed up tins and just shake it around the inside. So some people use flour to flour their tins, but because we're doing a chocolate fondant, we don't want it to kind of look white and crusty on the outside. So we're going to fill it with cocoa powder, and that'll hopefully give the cake something to stick to so that it won't get stuck to the tin itself. Make sure you're not leaving any wee gaps. Just check them all again. Once they're all ready, pop them to the side and we'll get that batter made. We've got the eggs and sugar. Into that we are going to fold all of the chocolate. So pour it down the side. And then super carefully you want to fold that in.
He folds it in. I understand that, but how do you fold it? Do you fold it in half like a piece of paper and drop it in the pot, or what do you do?
I don't really know what folding means, but I do like a scoop pat method. Trademarked here today. You kind of scoop from the side and bottom and pat it in. And once it's nearly all incorporated, we're gonna kind of, what do you call it, like shuggle? We're gonna shuggle over 4 teaspoons of plain flour. And again, we're going to scoop and fold that through. Again, don't overmix it, otherwise you'll lose all that air. And that's the batter done. So I keep my tins on a baking tray. It's just easier to kind of keep track of what's going on. So into each of these, we're going to spoon some of the mixture. You only want to fill it up like maybe 1/3 max. So I've only filled it up that much. And we're going to pop that into the freezer for about 10 minutes, and just so the chocolate sets and it goes a bit hard, you'll see why. So once the ganache has kind of gone to a sort of peanut buttery consistency where you can kind of touch it with your fingers without them kind of going gloopy, you want to scoop out just a little ball of the ganache and roll it together like that. And you want to make a couple of those. So make lots of balls, pop them on a wee plate. So we're only going to need to use 4 today. But if you want to make these into little truffles, you can as well. You just roll that in some cocoa powder. Actually, I've got some. You just roll that in cocoa powder. Got a wee truffle. Lovely. Very nice. That ball's a bit too big. No one wants balls that are too big. That can go back in the fridge. And these can go back in the fridge as well, while we wait for the cakes to set a bit. So the puddings have been in the freezer for about 10 minutes, and my balls have been in the fridge as well. The balls have been, I mean my balls might as well have also been in the fridge. Basically, I'm getting the balls and the puddings now. Balls, puddings. Really simple. What you look for, because they've been in the freezer, they're a wee bit more sturdy, which means that they can hold the balls. So just pop it on like that. Oh, we've got to make sure it's in the middle, basically. So this red ball is the part that's going to melt and make it look like it's bleeding. My friend looked at a picture of these actually, and they were like, "Oh, you've made like pro-menstruation cupcakes," and I was like, "Oh, great! mean, we love normalizing periods, but these are not period cakes, to be clear. So we're gonna cover the red balls with some more mixture, making sure that the mixture doesn't go more than like 2/3 of the way up the sides. I'm not sure you're meant to use your fingers, but I find my fingers always help. Well, I suppose your fingers do help, depends. Depends on the circumstance, doesn't it? Depends what you're up for. Make sure that the ball doesn't drift to the edges. You want to make sure the ball's in the middle. Quite pleasingly, that is the perfect amount of batter. Well done, me. Almost like I sort of know what I'm doing, hey. There we go. So you want to level them off, and then we're going to pop them back into the freezer for another 10 minutes or so. You can actually freeze these for like a month. You just want to add 5 minutes onto the baking time when we get to baking. But 10 minutes in the freezer now. Like with most things gay, there's a lot of prep involved, and then it's all very quick when it actually happens. So all the prep's done, now we wait. So while they're chilling down, we're going to get the coulis out of the fridge, and we're going to use that to make some pentagrams. Hail Satan. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. It's fine. I got excited and tripped over everything. It's okay. We've got our coulis in here. It's probably thickened up just a wee bit, which is lovely. Now, you could pipe this if you wanted to. I'm just going to use a spoon because I think it makes it look a bit more like bloody and gory and a bit less neat. So you want to get like a wee bit of coulis on your spoon, lob it on, and then you kind of drag it to make a star. Like that. I think stars have 5 points, I think. Couldn't tell you for certain, but we're going to go with it. Pentagram! That's what witch is like, isn't it? Is that meant to what does that do? Does that summon as the devil, I think? I mean, the devil hasn't been summoned in 2020, I don't know who fucking has been. It's a bit of a squint star. Does it matter? Is the devil picky about like the shape of the star that he gets? It's still technically a star. The devil needs to get over himself personally. Give it a go. Worship Satan 2021. What could go wrong? What hasn't already gone wrong? Now keep your coulis out for the foreseeable. And it's time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees fan. Or, if it's not fan, that's 200 degrees. And if you've got a gas mark, I don't know, use Google and get a new oven. So the puddings have been in the freezer for about 10 minutes. We're going to pop them straight into the oven, and they're going to stay in there for about 10 minutes until the edges are starting to kind of pull away from the sides. You don't want it to be fully baked, so no cracks on top. Cracks are often a good thing, but in this instance, no cracks please. If you're baking from frozen, look at 15 minutes rather than 10. There we are, lovely, look, see? Nice and firm. Spread them out just a wee bit, and into the oven they go for 10 minutes. The puddings have been in the freezer for about 10 minutes, so we're going to check they're still firm on top before we put them in the oven, and they're going to go in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees fan, which means that's about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, or if you're still using gas marks, number 1, why? Number 2, it's gas mark 6. If you're cooking from frozen, leave them in for about 15 minutes. And we're just waiting for them to kind of start to peel away from the edges, but still have a bit of a wobble on top. Don't know what that means. So the thing with these cakes is you can under or over bake them really quickly. Don't worry, they'll still be delicious, but it's like how much bleeding you're going to get from the middle, you just don't know. So I've got 20 seconds left on my cakes. I'm going to go and have a look. I'm going to get one of them out and tip it over and see how it looks. If that one looks good, I'll get the rest out. If it doesn't look good, I'll leave them in. I think that makes sense. Let's go. One cake. I need to work out how to get this upside down. Oh. Okay, gonna pop it onto the thing. And I need to get this off. Hot. And there we have it. Let me get a fork and let's see how that works. Bleeding in the middle. There we go. A bleeding, melt in the middle, chocolate fondant. Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna get the other ones out. Ah, the best one yet. Moments of truth. Let's make them bleed. Oh yes. There we go. And there we have it. A chocolate. What is it called? A bleeding chocolate fondant. Yes, please. Into my mouth. Oh, hot. Ooh, really hot. Any for you, Ambrose? No? Okay. We'll talk about it after.